Let's do a quick comparison between the difference of love and lust. Love comes from God, and lust is a perverted version of love by Satan. Love comes from God, lust comes from Satan. Here is the characteristics that the Bible states that love is. Love is patient. So what is the opposite? Lust is not patient because it is desperate. Lust is desperate because it's seeking to gratify the flesh. It is seeking its own desires, and it lacks self-control, and it lacks patience because it's trying to please its members rather than please the spirit. When you are spiritually content and whole and love yourself, you are patient. Love is patient. It's not desperate like lust because it cannot control itself. It has to please itself. It says love is kind. Lust is not, because it's there to gratify itself by any means. There's no care. It's just use and abuse. That's what lust is, because it comes from the devil. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. What is in the world? The lust of the eyes, the pride of life, which does not come from the Father at all. Those in lust are boastful to get their own way as fast as possible. It also says that love does not insist on its own way, but lust does, and it tries to find shortcuts. It's desperate. It's seeking its own way to gratify itself by any means, which leads to spiritual abuse or even physical abuse, because those who are in lust are only caring about gratifying their desires, not the spirit or even the person at all. It's only about gratifying that desire, but it doesn't care about how it gets it done. It shortcuts. Love does not insist on its own way. Love is also not rude. It's not irritable. The lust, there is no self-control. It is childish. The scriptures talk about a man who lacks self-control, or even a woman is like a city with broken down walls, because if you don't have a strong spirit and you just allow any spirit, you're just open access to any person. Love does not rejoice in wrongdoing. It rejoices in truth. Love bears all things, endures all things, and love never ends. But here's the thing, when it comes to lust, those who are in lust, the only thing they're trying to do is gratify that desire, and it ends, which leads to brokenness, because those who are in lust, they want love, but they're scared of attachment. They're scared of commitment due to an orphan spirit, due to abandonment, or due to traumas in the past. And because they refuse to go inwardly and heal, to go to God, they never attract whole people. You need to become whole, healed, so you have discernment, so you love yourself, so you can bring in somebody else who will respect you for who you are. But when it comes to lust, all it is there to do, it's longing for that love, but it's scared of commitment and attachment. And if you're in that, you'll actually be afraid of real love when it comes across you, because you're afraid of attachment. You're afraid of anything that is permanent because you're used to things leaving. And that's what happens in lust. Love never ends, but lust is a counterfeit that does end, and it will always end, and it will make you afraid of love because you won't want to attach yourself or trust anybody because you're in lust, which always ends. Because the thing about lust, it's only there to gratify its own desires, and it will chew you up and spit you out. A woman or a man who is in lust, all they want to do is gratify those desires and spit you out, and you will be spiritually abused, maybe even physically, because it doesn't care about how you feel. It's only there to gratify the desires of the flesh and spit you out. The scriptures talk about if you have intercourse, you become one flesh. So if you're becoming one flesh with broken people, now your soul is fragmented. You have soul ties. If it's in lust, well, lust is the opposite of love, which it's not going to be kind. It's not going to be patient. It's going to have envy. It's going to be boastful. It's going to be arrogant. It's going to be rude. It's going to insist on its own way. It's going to be irritable. It's going to rejoice at wrongdoing. It's not going to rejoice in truth. It's not going to bear all things. It's not going to endure all things. And it's definitely going to end. And it's going to end in heartbreak and the destruction of your spirit, because it's not from God. And where does sin lead to? The wages of sin is death. So if you're dabbling in sin, you're going to spiritually die. When Adam and Eve sinned, they fell and they spiritually died. If you're in lust, dabbling with lust, you're going going to spiritually die. You're playing Russian roulette and you shoot yourself in the foot and then you cry the victim, oh, why me? You're an idiot who is outside of God, and it's your own fault, and it's only going to continually keep happening until the complete destruction of your soul and your spirit. Understand this: the devil's only job is to steal, kill, and destroy. He is a lion. He is a liar, the father of all lies, but he is a lion seeking for whom he may devour. And if your internal is set on his GPS of an open door of lust, well, guess what? You're attracting spirits that are sent by him. If you're not in love, love is your armor. Love is what is inside of you to be able to discern what is right, what is wrong, what comes from God, what doesn't. If you have love, you can actually discern what is of God. But if you have lust, your spirit is an open door for the devourer, and he's gonna chew you up, gratify his desires, and spit you out, and it's gonna end. And then you're gonna try it again, and it's gonna end, because love never ends, but lust is a complete counterfeit of love.